Hey, RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch. Woo. Gotta hurry up, get my ass back to work. Look, I understand that stereotypes are like sometimes rooted in truth. And the stereotypes that I tend to really hate to hear are the ones that seem to have nothing to do with race or even culture, but tend to stick out in any particular race or culture. And I know it ain't got nothing to do with me being black, but sometimes I am a little late for work. Then I tend to stay later, a little late off my lunch break. I don't be doing that on purpose. A lot of times when I'm late off my lunch break, it's from doing live streams trying to talk to y'all motherfuckers. But the whole black guy being late to work thing, I fucking do that shit, bro. It's not like I don't be caring, but I don't be seeing a whole lot of harm in it, depending on how late I am and what's really going on. My job is cool like this because they expect that people gonna be a little late and shit like that. They don't give a fuck. You can always take the opportunity to cut your lunch break short, to stay a little later that day, which I'm always down for because in the department that I work in this aerospace company, it's very much appreciated if I got to stay after 5. If I have to stay after 5 or I choose to kind of make up a little bit of time for my lunch break or getting to work a little early. Sometimes I get to work way early. So I try to balance that out too. So if there's a history of me being late to work 3 out of 5 days in a week, I bet you can easily find a week where I was early as fuck to work 3 out of 5 days in another week, so that you won't be able to tell the whole story and say that this is who I am. You have to say, it's not exactly, because then you can pick this week to say that that's who he is. This nigga was here fucking early 3-4 days this week. Way early. Like, way early. So, my job allows for that kind of, I wouldn't say that you should be banking on that, but would it be in such a grace at my job that no one fucking freaks out about that shit, it becomes common. Then other people start taking advantage of it when it works out for them. Other people do their part to not abuse it, but to show a level of appreciation and understanding from themselves and from other people when they do it. So then it tends to be an overall, not a fucking issue, not a company issue. So I appreciate that. There's a whole lot of cool little quirks about my job that even though I make well over 6 figures at my job, the benefits and the appreciation that I have for my job goes way beyond the money that I make. And even still, I find myself sometimes when things get a little rough, living check to check. People live outside their means, and I'm guilty of that. I'm bad with money. If I have money, I'll blow it and just expect to just get more later. I won't care. But the idea of saving, I got a 401k and some other shit going on, got a Roth. I'm trying to be, more responsible and understand these different things. I want to get into some investing too, some passive income, maybe buy a property next year someplace, a rental property or something. Get a little bit of passive income going. I'm not sure, but I want to do something. Oh, excuse me, but I just want to say shout out to my 9 to 5, man. 8 to 5. Shout out to my employer, man. Cool story how I even met the CEO of the company, how we became friends, and then how he offered me a job, and then how I accepted the job. It's all like a pretty cool, crazy story that I might tell sometime in another live stream, or maybe in a documentary that I want to do about my life and my activism and how it all came together like this. So yeah, shout out to them, man, and tons of people that I work with too. I work with a whole bunch of cool people, sensible, real people. And I appreciate that because I got to spend 40 hours a week with you motherfuckers. We can at least genuinely like each other. There's some genuine friendships that I got with some people that I work with. So shout out to them too, man. But hey, I want to do this video. Go ahead. You got, if you come on, man. people trying to change lanes to get out of the exit only lane on the fucking highway, and you don't got much time left, and I'm slowing down to let him in. He's slowing down to let me pass. That's not cool. Because now we're doing 35 on the fucking highway, and you don't got the balls to just take the position, bro. You don't see me slowing down. Come on, man. But people have low expectations of getting any courtesy out here on the roads. And road rage and shit like that is a real fucking thing out here. I actually caught myself in a little bit of a fit of road rage just yesterday. I went down the wrong way, down a parking lot lane, where it's encouraged, because the parking spaces are angled, so it's encouraged to go to use these as one-way conduits through the parking lot. And I pulled out of a space, I pulled through a space that I was in and just went left to go towards the street that I was trying to get out on this side of the fucking parking lot at the exit that's on that side of the fucking parking lot. So as I pulled through, then I went left, and then all of a sudden I was going against, the lane of traffic right there in the parking lot, and it was nothing because there was no cars coming. But then when another guy did the same thing, but he pulled out into the lane, he pulled out of his parking spot and down towards me. And we had to maneuver a little bit to go around each other because there wasn't a whole lot of space. But it was smooth. It was no near miss or nothing like that. We was in full control of it. But as he goes by, he rolls his window down and goes, "Wow." And I go, "Wow, your mama, pussy. Fuck you gonna do?" And I shouldn't have did that. But I found it disturbing that he would feel the need to roll his window down to insult me with a "wow." Like it couldn't have just been an honest mistake that didn't even create a fucking victim. It's not like I damaged somebody's property or hurt somebody by doing this. I just casually pulled out and didn't realize until I pulled out and went up that direction. Like, oh, God damn. And I even said to myself, oh, what the fuck? I might even said that under my breath out loud, kind of, as I did that. And then when I seen him, I just moved over. And I was just casually going by like, I know, wrong side of the park, but ain't nobody gonna die. Ain't no kids gonna be hurt in these actions right now. You can relax. And to roll your window down to go, "Wow, all of my cars I'm driving past," man, shut your stupid ass up, bro. Don't taunt people out here in the streets with unnecessary shit, bro. It's not even that big of a deal. But that was my fault. I should not have responded like that. It was a little aggressive. I shouldn't have did that. But anyway, I want to do this live stream, this video right now, because I was watching one of my live streams from earlier this week, and I realized that there was some talk about languages when I was bringing up learning another language. So shout out to Rick James for learning Chinese from his grandson. That's dope. Mandarin Chinese, I'm assuming. I think there's one other form, maybe even multiple other forms of the Chinese language that are regional. That's dope, man. Learning another language is a beautiful thing. I wish that I would have been more involved in learning another language when I was a kid. And I still got the same appreciation and wonder for the language, just to know that when I speak in the English language and I'm just speaking so fluently, just expressing myself, most of the time what we're hardly thinking on a conscious level is more subconscious. Especially when you're speaking from the heart, or about something that you really understand and or believe in. That's a beautiful thing. But the fact that other people in other languages just speak in a different way, using different sounds and tones and vibrations to express the same thing, I just think it's a beautiful thing that people take for granted. I think language is beautiful. So I encourage people to learn another language, and Chinese is the dope one, because you might need it in this country to fucking ask someone, can you help me, or please don't shoot me. Who knows? You might need that Chinese word, James. So shout out to you. Chinese is a good example. Asan Hook, he said he tried to learn Spanish when he was young and it was driving him fucking nuts. The problem is that academia tries to get people to learn another language, a second and maybe even a third language, in an unnatural way. Kids don't learn languages by going over vocabulary words and isolating these vocabulary words so that you can learn them all through this false sense of repetition and verb conjugation and shit and breaking down the sentence. Man, my kids, my 5-year-old daughter, for example, real smart, articulate. If I ask her about verb conjugation, past tense and present tense and future tense in the English language, she'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about when you describe that shit to me like that. But my 5-year-old daughter can speak right through this stuff, and she can speak well. It's not even that fucking hard. She can just speak to the tune of the rhythm of what she is expecting, what she has learned, what she has experienced and understood to be the English language. Once you put it in this unnatural format of just literally learning vocabulary words, groups of them at a time, and then moving on to another one, or doing verb conjugation and sentence structure analysis and shit, man, fuck all that. You're gonna fuck up the learning process. And you do. You gotta learn a foreign language the way kids learn their first language. Very natural, memorizing phrases, putting it to immediate action. When you're talking to a child, especially when they're in the stages of learning the language, they are very often engulfed in actions that match the language of what's going on. When you're teaching a kid how to ask for something, you're probably in the midst of showing them how to ask for whatever snack they want out the goodie drawer or some shit like that, or what option do they want to drink? Water, juice. You know, you give these options and you show them. This is how the kids are learning the fucking languages. Even as an adult, it's just the best way to learn a language. Ask a foreigner that has mastered the English language to the degree that you have a hard time believing that they didn't know English until 5 fucking years ago, and it was their second, maybe even their third language at that. You go, why the fuck do you sound like you've been speaking this shit forever? Because they learn it like children do. And the best way to learn a foreign language the way children do is to watch foreign movies. These people watch American movies all the time. They love it. They're entertained and enthralled and emotionally at ease, feeding an unprovoked desire, not a task to learn it, but it's a desire because they want to watch the movie. And if you can kind of blur the line between a task to learn it and an entertainment value that you can find in it, you'll just be more receptive, and you have to learn it like a child. Memorize phrases that you might want to know. Don't worry about the conjugation or the definition of individual words. You can break that down and analyze it as you're going through it. But I began to learn Brazilian Portuguese, which is different from Portuguese in Portugal, because the geographical and the historical influence involved in these two places will bring their languages to be noticeably different. Even though, of course, you will find a great bulk of it to be the same. But I like Brazilian Portuguese, and I watched a movie called The City of God about 14 years ago. It was like 2009, 2010. 14, 15 years ago, I saw this movie, and I fell in love with it, so I watched it a lot. Now, they speak it in Brazilian Portuguese, but they got the English subtitles. So as much as I watched the movie, it was easy for me to hear and do what a lot of people do in movies, that you memorize lines, or you start to anticipate and recognize the following line, especially in scenes that you like. So I began to learn the language by accident, just because I liked the movie, and then knowing what it is that they're saying with the English subtitles. I was teaching myself the language so much by watching this movie that I set out to just intentionally just get fluent in the language. And I was working on it, and I was getting pretty good, and I still am, because I retained 95% of the shit that I was learning at the time. And I carried that learning, the attempt to learn the language, I carried it on for probably like 4 or 5 years after the language, just casually, after the movie, just casually picking up on things and making, diligent attempts to listen to things on YouTube and Travel Linguist. They got dope YouTube channel and books and other shit to help you learn languages. Just doing all of that, I got pretty good, but I want to get fluent, so fluent that I just go the way a person who didn't learn the English language until they were fucking 19 years old will be 25, 26, 27 speaking a language over here as if they were always here. I find that to be admirable when people can master and get fluent at a language that they were not born into. I think that shows a sign of dedication, consistency, adoration for another culture that's not your own. There's a whole lot wrapped up in the idea of learning a foreign language, and I think it'd be good for the soul for people to learn a second language. And I just got pretty good at the Portuguese, but thanks to that movie, though, a foreign film is what started it. Que tu mucho la cabeza branca, novia. I learned that line from that movie, City of God. And basically what I say is, do you want a bullet in your head, huh? Faggot. In Brazil, you call a man a homosexual by calling him girlfriend. If you call him girlfriend, then it's the equivalent for calling someone The F word. So, shit like that, man. It's just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful language. Um, and I encourage y'all to do that, man. I love the language. I've been learning colors, shapes, greetings, foods, animals, like a kid would, man. And you start applying these different things, learning how to say simple shit like "I don't see it" or "Where is the," or how do you say blank in Portuguese. Like you do these things and you watch the foreign films and you do this other shit that kind of resembles what academia would want you to do, but that shit is never enough, and you have to be doing this at your leisure for emotional and personal reasons or something else other than this is the task that's set out in front of me, so now I have to do this. You will distance yourself from retaining that information just off that attitude. So you can't approach it like that. So Asan Hook. If you want to learn another language, man, do it the way kids do. Don't do it the way academia tells you. It's just hard to make it work like that. Yeah, I like Bye Girls. That's the name of the title because I think it's sexy. I think there's something about a woman taking the initiative to learn a foreign language, or anybody really. It's just a good attribute that speaks volumes to your character when you can say that, no, especially when you say no one's forcing me to do this. I'm not even doing this for a college credit or something that I'm trying to obtain other than being fluent in the language. That's what I came here to get, not A or B or a passing grade in this fucking class so I can meet the requirements to graduate. Man, fuck that. That's all a whole bunch of weird ass reasons to do something so awesome like learn a foreign language, that when that doesn't work out for you, that you either fail the class or you pass the class and then you fail to retain that shit after one fucking summer in between fucking grades in high school or even in college. Man, that's proof that because you smart enough. You're probably smart enough to just pick up on another language, man. It's not even really that hard. You just have to care. Horseshoe, Blanco, Preto, Cinza, Marrom, Vermelho. Just different colors in Portuguese. Animals are like Rinoceronte. I think that's how you say rhino. Tubarão, that's shark. Tartaruga, that's turtle. I like saying tartaruga. That's how you say turtle, and it's such a beautiful word to describe a turtle when turtles are so fucking dope. What is it? 13 notches on they back on the shell of a turtle, and then 28 notches around it for like the 13 months and the 28 days for each month that it's supposed to be in a year. The whole Fibonacci thing, all of that type of shit. Turtles are magical fucking animals. I like them. Passarinho, cachorro, gato, urso. That's how you say bear. Bear in Portuguese is urso. Girafa. Of course, that's giraffe. Tigre, tiger. Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. I suggest that everyone do this, man. I think you're gonna find confidence in your cognitive abilities. You're gonna have different neurons firing in your brain. They may help you do other things. It might help your overall memory, especially in your older age. If you take on the opportunity to learn a foreign language, it's gonna jog some of your shit. It's gonna get your shit sparking, and maybe you need that. RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch. Wu Bang, get a gun. I need to learn how to say my slogan and shit in Portuguese. I'm gonna learn that shit. Yeah, turtles are just fucking dope animals, man. Snapping turtles are dangerous. They had you out here looking like Wu Bang for real. You'll lose that finger fucking with a turtle. What up, Zach? Zach says City of God is in his top 10. It's in my top 10 too, bro. The story in and of itself is just an awesome story based on a true story. And I did some research on the actual fucking story, and they did it pretty close, man. They hardly had to to Hollywood fucking shake up, and this is a foreign film, but they hardly had to fucking shake the story up to jazz it up for film, because the story is just fucking crazy. As a matter of fact, the story's so crazy. The antagonist, Lil Zay, he inspired the name of one of my children, one of my son's name. When you short it, we call him Zay, but the name Zay is in his name. And sure enough, when he was born, man, as soon as he can walk and talk, he got real bad. I was like, man, you about as bad as Lil Zay from the movie, bro. I might have cursed you. You're the baddest child I ever seen in my life. My son Zamarion was. He was a bad kid. He was kind of rough. He's still kind of hard-headed and wild. But yeah, City of God, man, dope-ass movie, man. I like it a lot. Foreign films, man, do that. Do the foreign film thing. Some people don't like reading the subtitles and then still trying to watch the visuals in the movie. And I think that was part of what got me so enthralled with the City of God, because wanting to see the visuals, but knowing that I've been missing the film from reading the subtitles, caused me to be very drawn to just watching it a second time for sure. And then I just got used to it, man. It's just a beautiful story. And I feel some kinship between the street life and quote unquote gang life in Brazil. I felt the kinship for how that goes here in America, including how involved the police were in some of the corruption, and the jealousy, the territorial thing, the violence. All of that shit resonated with me in recognition of how those things go in urban areas in this country. It's just a beautiful thing, man. They say travel will cure prejudices, because you'll see the humanity in other people and in other cultures, and it should make it very hard for you to judge them off of superficial things like their skin color or their language or what it is that they worship. And I believe foreign films can help you cheat that. If you watch good foreign films, you will grow an appreciation and a respect for the life, the struggle, and the social issues that you find in other cultures, and you will realize that we're not that different. We're just not that different. Y'all got to stop this like divisive shit when we is just not even really that different, man. Yeah, shout out to you, Zach, man. Y'all check out Zach's channel, Gematria Effect News 25, talking about language. The English language is a spooky thing. It's a magical thing, and you know that it is because it's going skip to Malu hand in hand with this evil petrodollar. When you say money is the root of all evil, you got to mean that shit. You got to wonder where the saying comes from. You got to look into it. The money's evil. The money is bad. And they skip to Malu holding hands across this great planet of ours, wrecking shit. The English language and that petro dollar. The English language is coded, and you have to know that, and you should give yourself an opportunity to just judge for yourself if you think it's relevant or not. Take a look at Zach's channel at Gematria Effect News 25 and then judge for yourself. If you check out Gematria, you feel like it's hokey, or you're not quite sure, or you think that all of that shit can be a coincidence, good for you. Whatever, I don't give a fuck. But to cheat yourself out of an opportunity to bear witness to something like that, and then to be your own man or woman in a life like this, choose for yourself if you think it's relevant or not. But I think you owe it to yourself to know that there might be something there, and you gotta fucking go look to see if there's something there or not. Period. I don't think you should turn your back to the idea of Gematria in your open-mindedness if you think that that's the kind of person that you really are. And how you feel about it after you give it a chance, I don't even give a fuck, because if Zach's work can't speak for itself, then I don't got nothing else to fucking say to you. But I think you do owe it to yourself to ask yourself the question, is Gematria relevant? And then go look and then decide for yourself, and then I don't give a fuck after that. Don't give a damn. I ain't trying to make you think nothing. Just telling you what I think is cool, and if you rock with it, then salute to you. If you don't, then go your way. Go that way. Give a fuck. The world ain't gonna stand right next to me about too much or nothing anyway. I got no expectation for that, but I do feel a responsibility that when I think that I can see things, when I think that I know something, especially if it can be helpful, beneficial to me, you, my children, maybe even the world, I have to point it out to you. Now you can go look your goddamn self. You know? Mad Catter, what up? Rick James. I'm gonna go back and read these comments and stuff. I've been doing better at that lately, because I want to acknowledge you guys, and sometimes you guys have questions that inspire other videos, so I should probably listen to you. Angel in here, Rick James, all of my usual suspects, LAF, one probably my number one fan as far as generating um, bait to the algorithm to have to try to favor my shit. Like no one even knows that I'm alive. As many gun owners are in this motherfucking country, I think they all should know who I am so they can choose to either rock with me because they think that what it is that I'm doing needs to be done, or stand up and shun me if you think that what I'm doing is counterproductive to the idea of fighting for gun rights. If you think that, you can say that, but I think out of all these gun owners in the country, I think they all should know who I am and then make a choice. Cause I think your life deserves what it is that I'm trying to do to help you in regards to standing up to a tyrannical government and bringing your gun with you when you go to air your grievances to a tyrannical government, because they do not deserve no peace, no love. They don't deserve a stress-free work environment from us at all. You're supposed to stress them the fuck out. Fuck them. Wu Bang, get a gun today, man. Don't play yourself. Don't play with your life. I ain't gonna play with mine, man. I'm just gonna make myself dangerously defensive, and then whatever happens after that happens. But I tried. All I want is a fighting chance. I'm not gonna win every fight, and I don't give a fuck. But I do want the fighting chance. What the fuck is wrong with that, right?